In this video, you will be learning an advanced method of shading using color pencil blending, and we'll be learning how to shade using color complements. To begin, let's first take a look at the color wheel and learn a little bit about color theory. A color wheel is an abstract, illustrative organization of color hues around a circle, which shows the relationships between primary, secondary, and tertiary colors. The primary colors are arranged at 3 equally spaced points around the color wheel to form a triangle. The primary colors are yellow, red, and blue. When 2 primary colors are mixed together, you get a color called a secondary color. The secondary colors are orange, violet, and green. When 1 primary and 1 secondary are mixed together, you get a color that's known as a tertiary or intermediate. These colors are represented by the small circles on the color wheel, in between a primary and a secondary. Now let's take a look at complementary color pairs. Complementary colors are pairs of color which, when combined or mixed, cancel each other out. When placed next to each other, they create the strongest contrast for those 2 colors. The most prominent complementary color pairs are blue and orange, red and green, and yellow and violet. When color pencil blending, we use color complements to deepen colors. The color pencils that I'll be using in this demonstration video is by the brand Prismacolor Premier. Prismacolor pencils are the brand that I recommend to all my art students if they want to increase the quality of their artwork. If you are interested in investing in a good set of color pencils, Prismacolor is a brand that I would highly recommend. This is a great middle of the line set. It has a variety of each of the colors as well as a variety of browns, silver, gold, and there's enough pencils in this set to do nice flesh tones and skin tones if you want to kind of bring that into your artwork. They are a little bit on the pricier side. They're going to be more than something like a Crayola pencil, but they're really definitely worth it, and they will make your artwork, your colored pencil work, significantly better. To follow along with this lesson, you'll need the following materials. So you're going to need your set of colored pencils. You need at least a yellow, orange, red, green, blue, violet, and a white. You'll also need a pencil sharpener, an eraser, a regular pencil, and a pen. Using a piece of white drawing paper or a page in your sketchbook, write Color Pencil Study at the top. A common mistake that students make when color pencil blending is not using the pencils to their fullest potential. When students only use the color pencils in a soft, sketchy application, they're robbing their artwork of beautiful, vibrant, deep color. This is what I like to call middle school shading, and it's a big no-no. Using the pencils to achieve deep, rich, full-bodied color is what we really want to try to achieve in this lesson and moving forward in your colored pencil artwork. You can see here I've done a small value scale using my red colored pencil. You'll see me use this white colored pencil to go over the lighter areas of my value scale. As I do this, that section of the value scale gets lighter, and all of the marks from the color pencil actually start to blend and harmonize together. This totally smooth, blended look that has deep, rich color is what we're trying to achieve with our color pencil work. I'm now going to try and create a value scale using a blue color pencil with the same style and look as the red. Deep, smooth, and really blended out using the blue color pencil and a white. Inevitably, when I'm teaching color pencil blending to a group of students of 20 or more, there's always one student in the group who says that they're scared to push the pencil really hard. And when I ask that student what they're scared of, they always say, "I'm scared it's going to look bad." But I assure you, working colored pencils to their fullest potential will never make your artwork look bad. It will only help to improve it. Try and recreate each of these looks in your own art notes. I'm going to label these 2 value scales high school shading. That way, when I go back into my art notes, I'll remember this is the kind of look I'm trying to achieve each time I do a color pencil piece. Now I'm going to demonstrate how to blend multiple colors together. I've drawn a long rectangle and divided it in half. On the left-hand side, I'm going to do a blend from red to red-orange and then to orange. On the right-hand side, I'm going to demonstrate blending red with its color complement, which is green. I'm starting by layering my red on that furthest left-hand side. As I move to the middle of that rectangle, I'm going to lighten up my pressure and just put a light layer of the red underneath of the section that says red-orange. I'm now going to take my orange color pencil and put a light layer on top of the light layer of red. So now I'm trying to blend the red pencil and the orange pencil together to create a blend of the red and the orange. So if you remember with our little color theory lesson, red-orange would be a tertiary color. Red is a primary, orange is a secondary, and red-orange is a tertiary or an intermediate. To create that intermediate color, I'm working in layers. Layer of red, layer of orange, layer of red, layer of orange. And you can see in that transition, now I have a solid red orange, and then a solid orange. Let's try a color transition now from blue to blue-violet to violet. Starting with my blue pencil, I'm beginning to apply layers onto that furthest left side, building the color as I'm working, shading in small circular motions. As I get to the blue-violet section of my color scale, I'm just doing a light layer of blue, allowing for some still of that white of the page to peek through, so I'm not overly saturating the paper just yet. Starting to work with the violet on the other side of my value scale, slowly building those layers of color, deepening them with each pencil stroke. As I work to the middle, I'm starting to lighten up my pressure, so doing like a light layer of the purple on top of the blue, and then I'm going back and forth from blue to violet to blue to violet. As the color starts to develop and I'm starting to like how it's looking, I am starting to press harder and harder with my color pencil. So I'm starting to blend each of those strokes together. So I want to try and harmonize them all, get them really nice and smooth. Now let's try blending with color complements. As I mentioned before, complementary colors are shades opposite on the color wheel. Red and green are a pair of complementary colors. When trying to deepen or darken a color, a natural inclination is to take the color and mix in some black. However, adding black to a color can oftentimes make it flat and appear very drab. Instead of adding black, try adding the color's complement. This will create deep, rich versions of the color. Here you can see I've layered down a small value scale of the red. In the area that I want to make a deeper, darker red, for example, a maroon or a brick red, I've gone in and started to add a layer of green, and I'm going to bounce back and forth between green and red, green and red. Ultimately, I want it to look like a deep, dark red, not like a red with green. So I have to kind of find that fine line and that balance between how much green I'm putting in. But that's something you kind of start to get more comfortable with the more you start to practice. So you can see now it looks like it's a deep, dark red into a brighter red, and you'll see me start to add and blend in with a white to make a nice light red to finish off the value scale transition. Try it out. Now let's practice blending with color complements, blue and orange. So I'm going to start the same way I did with the red, except I'm going to be using the blue. I'm going to give myself a nice base layer of the blue, and then in that area all the way over to the right side where I wanted to make a nice deep dark blue, so for example a navy blue, I'm going to start to blend in that orange. So here I go, starting to blend that orange into the blue, and at first it actually looks like a little bit green. So depending on the type of blue and the type of orange that you mix together, sometimes the color might appear with like a different type of hue, but when I go back on top of it with the blue and again with the orange, eventually it starts to kind of meld and blend together, and so it'll just get like a really deep, smoky, dark look instead of looking like a green. So if that starts to happen to you, don't worry about it. These things can always be adjusted and fixed. That's what's great about color pencil is you can put lots and lots of layers on it. So if you feel like you make a mistake, don't freak out. There's usually always a way you can fix it. Watch now as I take the white pencil and start to really meld and harmonize that entire little strip together, so it really looks like it transitions and flows super smoothly. And there you have it, a small value scale using the color complements blue and orange with a white. Are you ready to kick it up a notch? Let's try shading some forms, now using all of the knowledge we've just learned about. I'm now going to show you how to shade a rounded object to make it look like it's three-dimensional. My light source is going to be shining down on the rounded form from the upper right corner, which means that's where the highlight's going to be. Where I'm shading right now is going to be the shadowiest, darkest part of my sphere. As I start to move up towards the area that's going to be lighter and on my highlight, I'm lessening my pressure, so I'm not pressing down as hard with the color pencil. I have a really nice layer of my red pencil down on the sphere already, but I really want to deepen those shadows down to that left side. So here I'm going in with my green pencil, now with a layer of green on top of the red, so I'm starting to mix those color complements in to deepen the colors. Watch now as I use the advanced technique of layering my color pencils back and forth to create a wide range of value in my form. The final step is to add a cast shadow right under my sphere. So I've drawn a narrow ellipse. I'm starting to add a layer of the green on top of it, and I'll go over with just a little red to make it really nice and dark and shadowy. Can't wait to see what your spheres look like. Let's try using our blue and orange to create a cone that looks three-dimensional. I've already started by drawing my cone here, establishing my light source. So my light source is going to go from the same side as my sphere, and I'm drawing my contour value map. This way I'll know what side is going to be the darkest, where my medium value is, and then where my lights are. So start by giving yourself a base layer of the blue. Remember, in the darkest area you can start by pushing a little bit harder, but through your medium and light values just want to do like a nice light layer of the color pencil. The other thing that I'm not necessarily showing in this video, but you want to try and remove as much of the graphite from your sketches off of the page before you start to color pencil in. You don't really want all of that color pencil mixing with the graphite because it will look really smudgy. So I kept my lines on the paper for the demonstration video so that the viewers could see them. But as you're working on your own work, you can probably erase the pencil lines and still be able to see where you're going to shade in, and ultimately it will make your work stronger because you're not blending the color pencil with the graphite. So that's a little tip for you. All right, let's watch as I continue to shade. Once my base layer is down, I'm going to pick up blue's color complement, which is orange, and now start to work that orange into the shadowiest area of my cone. So I'm starting on that left side, working it a little bit darker, and then as I get to the middle of the sphere, just adding a little bit of orange, and then you'll see me bounce back and forth between my blue and orange, and then starting to blend the white in. So take a little time and watch as I progress and give it a try yourself. Finish off your practice cone by giving yourself a little cast shadow, and that will help to ground the object and make it look like it's really sitting on a surface. And voila, you've used blue and orange to create a three-dimensional blue cone, and red and green to create a three-dimensional red sphere. Great job, everybody.